Welcome to this week's episode of the Football Fan Show podcast. How are you doing? And I'm Danny, and I'm joined by Callum Brown. This week we're chatting once again Mikel Arteta, AFTV a little bit at the end. We'll also talk about the dreaded international break. It's been boring not doing this show for 2 weeks. Thank you very much. And we'll be talking about the first set of fixtures from the Champions League. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe to the podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. And we're going to start with our game and team of the day for Saturday. Take a moment for last week's team of the day. Obviously, there was no show last week, so we couldn't give them the shout-out that they deserved. Chorley, not Town anymore. They dropped the town from their name. Chorley won 9-0 against 10-man Gloucester City. We didn't even have a vote last week. We just went, Chorley, 9-0, you're the team of the week. Chorley won 9-0 against Gloucester City. How, and this is where the chant comes in, how shit must you be? How shit must you be? 9-0. I'm surprised the Gloucester players didn't just go, we're just going to pack up now in their National League North game against Chorley.
I think if they scored another one, I think if they hit 10, they would have finally
It was a rugby score. A small rugby score, but still. 9-0. 9-0. Jeez. Your poll for a team of the day, Spennymoor Town. They got a 6-0 win at home. Spennymoor Bolton, who won 5-2 away. Lincoln won 5-1 away. And Sheffield United won 6-2 at home. Let's deal with the two clubs in last place. Spennymoor, the National League North side, and Lincoln City with 1.8% of the vote. Sheffield United got 10.7% of the vote, but a lot of Bolton fans clearly follow our channel. They got 85.7% of the vote. So your team of the day is Bolton Wanderers, who got a 5-2 win away at Ipswich Town in League One.
That's surprising because I've never heard when you mentioned the score, I was like, what? When Sheffield United scored 6?
6-2.
I've never heard them scoring more than 3 ever.
They won 6-2, believe it or not. More interesting is your game of the day. It's a lot closer, this one. We'll start with the team or the game in last place. It's Bromley 2, Boreham Wood 3 from the National League, 4.3% of the vote. Then we go to League One, where it finished Morecambe 3, AFC Wimbledon 4 with 21.3% of the vote. Rotherham 2, Fleetwood 4 got 25.5% of the vote. But your winner for the game of the day, Reading 3, QPR 3 with 48.9% of the vote, just under 50%. I'd agree with that. That's the amount of last-minute goals in that game. Reading thought they'd won it, then Peterborough came back, and it was fantastic. It was fun. It was a great game. Go watch the highlights as well. Also, go check out the highlights to the Bayer Leverkusen Borussia Dortmund match from earlier. That was a very good game. A very good game of football as well. So there you go. Those are all the scores for today. And now we talk about, well, what shall we talk about? Well, let's go into the least favourite talking point of any football fan. Internationals.
Oh, right. Okay.
We'll start with. We'll just give you the 5-0 on what's been going on with the other teams outside of England. We've got Republic of Ireland drew 1-1 with Serbia in a World Cup qualifier, as well as drawing 1-1 with Azerbaijan. Jesus Christ, what is going on with the Republic of Ireland? I mean, they've got a crap manager. That's what.
Well, I think what comes down to is they've got
crap players, crap manager. I mean, the combination is there.
Never going well.
Yeah, they've got.
Well, to be fair,
they've got no real prospects of.
That's what I mean. I saw an Irish fan, an Irish local fan. I was sort of having a look on his video and that, and he was saying that the FIA, so the Irish FA, basically haven't done anything at all to invest in young, up and coming Irish players. So they've got no one of any like promise coming through. So they've pretty much got terrible players, no sort of real pool of quality to choose from. The manager's not great. He hasn't got a great track record, so he's obviously trying to do what he can, but he's not good enough to do anything with them. So it just pretty much spells disaster at the minute. I think it's only a matter of time.
I mean, I'd have sacked Stephen Kenny after he allegedly showed an IRA video ahead of an England game.
Yeah.
I'd have sacked him after that because that kind of behaviour is not wanted and welcomed. Portugal also got a 2-1 win against the Republic of Ireland. I saw just a bunch of Ireland fans just go, "Oh, the referee clearly is Ronaldo's buddy or something." And just admit your team's shit. I mean, you're drawing 1-1 with Azerbaijan at home.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
You know, get rid of Stephen Kenny.
It'd be like only winning 3-0 against San Marino. A bit disappointing, isn't it? You got to at least score 4. You know?
Yeah, yeah. The Republic of Ireland are in the doldrums at the moment. I don't see them qualifying for a major tournament again for a while. Not even a Euros. I think.
Oh, for a while, yeah.
Yeah, I think they'd get lucky to qualify for Euros. Let's look at Northern Ireland, who had the better experience. They got a 0-0 draw with Switzerland at home. That's not a bad result for Northern Ireland.
Right,
that's not a bad result. They won 1-0 away in Tallinn in Estonia, and they got a 4-1 win away at Estonia's neighbours Lithuania. 4-1 win in that one. So I mean, the Estonia game was a friendly. That should be pointed out. But the two games that were important were the 4-1 win against Lithuania in World Cup qualification and the 0-0 draw with Switzerland. Not a bad result.
Right.
We go to Scotland next. They got a 1-0 win against Austria. That's not a bad result in Vienna.
I watched that, and it was a bloody terrible match.
But they still won.
Yeah, they did. But the thing is, it was a penalty they scored. It was a terrible penalty, and honestly, like, Scotland just obviously sat back the rest of the match, and then Austria tried and they was just pumping balls from out wide into the box against a back 5. So it was boring basically.
It was a boring game, but they won 1-0.
Yeah, like, to be honest, Scotland had chances on the break to score more, and it's like they were deliberately trying not to score.
That's because they played defensively.
But the thing is, like, if you park the bus there, you're setting up for counter-attacks, aren't you?
Oh yeah, totally.
So you take if opportunities come along to get another goal, then you take them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But they'd get really good chances. Like, there'd be times where they'd play some really good passes through and get 1-1 with the keeper, or one defender back, because Austria took forever actually getting back, and they just didn't. I mean, fair play. They scored, so fair play.
They also beat Moldova, who are the home of I Shot the Sheriff Tiraspol. 1-0 win for Scotland at home against Moldova. I mean, that's not really that good a result. Let's be honest, winning 1-0 against Moldova. But then they lost away at Denmark by 2-0. Also, in all 3 of those games were World Cup qualifiers. So they beat Austria, which was a great result. That was away. That's a great result. Beating Moldova, meh. And then losing to Denmark, that's not
kind of expected.
Yeah, kind of expected, but not the result that they would have wanted. For Wales, I would say a disastrous result against Estonia, drawing 0-0. They should be beating Estonia easily.
Yeah.
They struggled against Belarus. They only just got a 3-2 win against Belarus away in Minsk in another World Cup qualifier, and in their pre-World Cup qualifying friendly, they drew 0-0 with Finland. Wales are on the decline. We know this. Like, this is a fact. Because Wales are on the decline.
Pretty much their best player is like hitting 33 now, Gareth Bale almost.
Yeah, he's done. Like, if they qualify for the World Cup,
as soon as he goes, he's like, who they actually relying on?
Ramsey. I mean, he's what, 30? Isn't he 30?
He's like 32, isn't he? 31,
yeah.
32.
Who else would they be? I'm not sure who else they'd be. The brilliant John Williams from Swindon Town. That's who they'd be relying on. The world-class John Williams of that great team, Swindon Town Football Club. No, let's be honest. Yeah, they've got no one. I mean, oh wait, they've got Daniel James.
Dan James.
Dan
Paddy
James,
Wilson.
yeah. Ampadu, Nico Williams.
Nico Williams, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not very good, really. Just not very good.
Dan James is probably their best. Tyler Roberts as well. That he's all right. But beyond that, yeah, I'm really like Joe Allen.
Yeah.
Joe Allen at Stoke.
The mighty Joe Allen.
The mighty Joe Allen at Stoke. Yeah.
I'm sure when he played for us, we used to call him the Welsh Shabby.
Oh Jesus Christ!
We called him the Welsh Shabby. Little hero he was.
Let's talk about England now. Fresh from their painful shithouse defeat to Italy in the Euro 2020 final. Is it too soon to mention that? It's too soon to mention that, isn't it? They beat Hungary 4-0 in a game that I could only describe that I watched 5 minutes of it, watched Raheem Sterling score and switched off again.
Yeah.
I did not watch the first half and I'm very glad I avoided it. Other than the Hungarian fans being utter twats, England got a 4-0 win. They also beat Andorra in a game I also did not watch. They beat them 4-0. And then in another game, I'm going to shock you here and say that I also didn't watch. They drew 1-1 away in Poland. Next game is away at Andorra. So there you go. I hate international football.
Yeah, it's not great.
I can't stand it. It's so boring. And they want a biannual World Cup. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
No. We were ahead of the curve on that one. We did a video about a month ago on that. So, yeah, everybody's having their discussions on the biannual World Cup. We talked about it 3 weeks ago. Ha, 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 ha.
We were ahead of the curve.
I know. We were all... Sky Sports, go shove it up your jacksy. Let's move on and focus once again on international football, but in South America. The South American Italy, by that I mean the South American shithouses of Brazil. The diving bastards have decided... I mean, I watched the Copa America final between Brazil and Argentina. Tom Daley would have been proud of the diving in that final. And he's an Olympic gold medalist. Give Neymar the Olympic gold medal. Come on, Tom Daley. Hand over your medals. Give them to the Brazilian.
Neymar showing you up here.
Yeah, Neymar showing you up in that Copa America final.
That's just what they do, though, isn't it? And that's not me trying to be like racist or anything, but that's South American teams. Like you always see them doing that. It's like they encourage it.
Yeah, they do. They do have it's they just do it. I don't know why, but.
But the situation here. I know you're obviously going to mention it, but if I can just introduce a little bit myself.
Go for it. Yeah.
The thing, obviously, you've seen the thing what happened with Brazil and Argentina match.
Yes, I saw
it got pulled off.
The Brazilian, just to say what happened. So Brazilian health officials walked onto the pitch to arrest 4 Argentine players.
Because you're playing in Brazil.
Yes.
Well, basically 4 Premier League, UK-based Argentinian players illegally entered the country.
Yes, because allegedly they had lied about being in Brazil.
Because you couldn't be in either the UK, Ireland, South Africa, and somewhere else within the last 14 days before entering the country. And these 4 players who, you can prove were in the UK.
Didn't I watch you on TV last week? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, I wasn't in the UK. Or didn't we just watch you play for, Lo Celso? Didn't we just see you play for Tottenham last week? No, that was
my evil twin brother.
Evil twin brother. Yeah. So basically, they stopped the match. Obviously, I don't know if they actually got arrested or not.
No. No, they did not.
But he stopped the match, and basically Brazil, you know, they just looked, it just embarrassed them a bit, you know.
Oh yeah,
So obviously,
they've come out of this looking like twats.
yeah, so feeling a bit butthead and their fragile egos a bit wounded, they think, well, we've got to try and do something to make ourselves look all hard, like, so we're going to go to the Premier League and go, oh yeah, all your Brazilian players, all your Argentinians, everything like that. Sorry, your Brazilian players, we're not going to let them play. We're going to appeal to FIFA and say that we're going to stop them, ban them for 5 days. And then,
Yes, because it is Article 5 that the
but the thing
Brazilian
is,
Football Federation invoked that says that if clubs do not release players for international breaks, the international team or international association has the right to demand that those players do not play for their
in
clubs for
normal situations,
5 days.
however,
Yeah.
but the reason is, right, let's just get something straight. I don't care what this Article 5 talks about. I know that's in place, right? But these players are owned by the clubs. Clubs, they are an employee of the club. It's the club's right to deny a player going abroad because the players are sort of play for the club and they are released. They are allowed to go and play for their countries. It's not mandatory, right? They get the call up, and if they accept, the clubs accept, they go. But this time, the reason is that if these players went and went to Brazil, played, as soon as they come back to the UK, they would then have to self isolate in a hotel right by the airport for 10 days,
Mm.
right? And the club said we don't want them to do that because, I mean, mainly the health concerns, but also we want them to be able to play for us when they come back.
Yeah.
We've got matches straight after the international break. We want those players available, right? There's nothing in the law that says that clubs can't stop them going, and the players have agreed. They didn't go.
Oh
They
yeah, yeah,
agreed. So
yeah.
then
The players didn't defy the clubs.
that's what I mean. So the Brazilian FA are like, well,
They're
we're
trying to
spit
save
dummy
face.
out, save face, but we basically look like you're spitting your dummy out like a spoiled brat,
Yeah.
saying, "Oh well, you just held them and this and that," and basically people like initially were saying, "Okay, yeah, we'll ban for 5 days." Um, so basically all the Brazilian players in the Premier League that got called up but didn't go. So I know that obviously a couple of other clubs have been affected, but I'll talk about my club. That's what I know about. So for us, it's Alisson, Fabinho, and Firmino. Three of our first team players. We're gonna
Mm.
get banned from our match tomorrow. Um, but no, the club's now been in talks, and it's been lifted.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it has
sorry,
been. Yeah.
Brazil. Sorry for Brazilian FA. Kiss my ass on the
I
way
think
out. Bye.
yes.
Bye bye.
Bye
See you
bye.
later.
Bye bye now. Go back to being
Yeah.
irrelevant.
You you lose. Yeah.
I mean, I mean, if you want to dig a little deeper in the Brazilian FA, they're not exactly having a great time of it in Brazil themselves, with the Brazilian Super League being potentially created, in opposed to the Brazilian Football Federation. But we're not talking about that tonight, and plus, I don't have enough information on it to confidently talk about it. But Article 5 was invoked by the Brazilian Football Confederation. They requested it. It came through today. Well, it actually came through in the early hours that FIFA have cleared essentially all players that denied the call up because because FIFA, for once being the sensible people,
Mm-hmm.
you're the asshole when you make FIFA look good, and
Yeah, pretty
that is
much.
yeah. So they have all been cleared. FIFA obviously recognising this is a pandemic, and they've just been like, you don't have a leg to stand on to the Brazilian Football Confederation.
Also, that is the main point. But also, you've got little old Brazilian FA thinking the wise ass is trying to go up and play politics and fight against the big boys of the Premier League, and it's like FIFA going, well, we want to save face with the Premier League. We want to stay friends with them. We're going to defend them.
Yeah,
Also because the Premier League are basically laughing at the Brazilian FA going, who the fuck are yous? We don't even know yous exist. Go away,
yeah.
plebeians,
When
shit
was the
like
last
that.
time you lot won a World Cup? Oh wait, when was it? 2002 was it? 2002 was the last time they won a World Cup.
Brazil, yeah.
Yeah, there you
Hang
go.
on.
They haven't won one in 20 years. Think about it, because who won it? It was Brazil, Italy,
Italy,
Spain,
Germany.
Germany, France,
yeah.
and now it's going to be England.
Well, if you're so confident.
I mean, France lost the European Championship final and then went on to win the World Cup. I'm not saying it's our time, but I'm saying it's coming home. Qatar 2022 is coming home. Yeah. I'm not a betting man. No, I'm not a betting man. I'm not a betting man after I lost 200 quid on Phil the Power Taylor's last match in World Darts.
That scarred you for lifetime.
Yep, I deleted my Paddy Power account. There you go. So the Brazilian FA being twats and trying to shithouse their way into being relevant. Shall we talk about put your hand on your heart? If you know what I'm saying. Come on. It's time to talk about the Champions League.
Please stop doing that.
I will never stop doing it because I know how annoying it is to people. Let's talk about the fixtures for both Tuesday and Wednesday's game. Our Champions League predictions are already on the YouTube channel, so go see them there. Sevilla versus RB Salzburg. Of course, they're not allowed to be called Red Bull in the Champions League, but I mean, I can't look beyond Sevilla for this.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, I mean, they've both got good teams, and so I thought it was RB Leipzig that couldn't be called Red Bull.
Both.
I thought it was Red Bull Salzburg.
Yeah, but in UEFA competitions, they're not allowed to be called Red Bull. They just FC Salzburg.
Oh, okay.
It's UEFA rules. You're not allowed to have sponsorship in your title.
I didn't know.
So they're just FC Salzburg.
On paper, you'd say Sevilla definitely look stronger. But I wouldn't discount Salzburg altogether because they have got some good players. They always do seem to have some new good young player coming through. Because they had.
Oh yeah.
Remember they had,
but they're a development team.
They had Haaland, then he went, and then they had Patson Zaka, and then he's gone. Now they've got this young German kid, Adeyemi, who looks very good, scored a lot of goals. So who knows? But you definitely, if you put money on, you definitely say Sevilla. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then I better be careful how I say this one. I can't wait for Tuesday. And this one, I will finally be able to say Manchester United are breaking the law because they're thrashing young boys, which I'm pretty sure is illegal throughout the world.
They're touching or
well, they're playing Young Boys of Bern. Young Boys of Bern versus Manchester United.
They're playing with young boys.
Exactly, they are. They are actually at least so
they're playing with a team of young boys.
Pretty dang much.
Sorry.
So which team will be the one? Well, actually, no. We know which team will be the one playing normally at that stadium. But which team will leave Bern? I'm not making the joke. I can't make the joke. I can't make the joke. I can't do it.
Say it at the end.
All right. What do you think of this one? Bern, Young Boys of Bern versus Manchester United. I mean, Manchester United are winning this one.
I mean,
actually, to be fair, Manchester
United are like in the group stages.
Yeah, they're always crap. I just remembered that they always underperform.
Yeah. So
Young Boys, was it Young Boys or Basel that knocked them out of the Champions League once upon a time? I think it was Basel. Could it be another Swiss team? I don't know. But anyway, I won't be watching that. I'll be too busy. Actually, that's a 5:45 kickoff, that one. So yeah.
I'll definitely be too busy.
Young Boys versus Manchester United. The Battle of the Wankdorf. You'd have thought a certain company would offer to sponsor their stadium with a name like that. Lille versus Wolfsburg. 8 p.m. kickoff. We're now in Group G, same group as Seville and FC Salzburg. By the way, Young Boys and Manchester United in Group F. But Lille versus Wolfsburg. I think this is a tougher one to call because Lille have lost lots of their players that made them a force last season in the French league. So I thought it was always going to be tough for them to do anything in this group beyond just showing up and waving. So I wasn't sure what they were. I'm not sure what they're going to be like.
I mean, when you think about it, Lille still. I mean, we're saying Lille lost those players. You've still kept the vast
They've still
majority.
got some good players.
They've still kept the vast majority of the ones that won the Liga Untitled last season. Wolfsburg have got got good players as well. There's a reason why they're back in the Champions League now because they've had a couple of years of being a bit average. Obviously they've worked their way back up now to Champions League level. So we'll see. When we did both, I think they're both pretty even. These two, I'd say.
Yeah, it'll be. I
mean, I say that, and one will go and beat the other like 7-0 or something.
Yeah. Lille, Wolfsburg. I don't know for that one. I don't think Wolfsburg are as good as Lille. So I think.
I imagine Lille myself. Yeah.
We go to the other game in Group F, the 8 p.m. kickoff. It's Villarreal versus Atalanta.
Villarreal, Atalanta.
Well, judging by the fact that I was going to say, judging by the fact that Villarreal can't shithouse wins in this tournament because they can't win by penalties.
You can only win the Europa League. Because
Unai Emery, yes, he can
only win the Europa League. Yeah.
I'd go for Atalanta, but do you want to explain why you're going for them as well?
I mean, my first thought was, they can only do well in the Europa League with Emery, but in all seriousness, I'd say just in terms of quality, sort of outright quality overall, I'd say Atalanta do just edge it, but again, this could be quite even.
It'll be a very defensive performance, I reckon, from Villarreal.
Yeah, because I know Atalanta play 3 at the back, I think.
Yeah.
Like a 3-4-3 or a 5 back or whatever. Villarreal aren't known for their overwhelmingly attacking sense, so I reckon it's probably going to be quite cagey. No one now. Look, it'll probably be boring. It depends which one goes for it more. I reckon Emery will try and sit back and counter like he tries to always.
Oh yeah.
Then are Atlanta going to try and press and overwhelm and be on the front foot? And it depends how each team tries to go for it.
Yeah, I think Villarreal will just sit back and try and hit them on the break, which is pretty much the only thing they can do.
They play 4-4-2, don't they?
Yeah.
And they haven't got like amazing pace up front.
No.
I mean, they have got what's his name, Chukwueze, who plays right mid for them. But they've got Gerard Moreno and what's his name up front. I can't remember, but they're not blessed with pace.
No.
So
I'm gonna go Atalanta. If Atalanta can get one early, then that's game over. But if Villarreal grind out a 0-0 draw, I think they'll take that.
Yeah, they'd be happy with that. Yeah.
Moving on, Group E this time, and actually no, we'll save Group E. Group H: Chelsea versus Zenit St. Petersburg. I mean Chelsea. Come on, they're playing Russian Premier League Zenit.
I was gonna say just as a joke. I was straight away gonna say Zenit just for laughs, but but no, I think Lukaku's gonna have a field day.
Oh, absolutely. And the other game is Malmo versus Juventus. I think that one's Malmo. I think that one's tougher to call because Juve are crap now.
Yeah, they're just not. I mean, they
finally
got
win.
a good manager back again.
Juve should win.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Well, the thing is that obviously they've lost Ronaldo, but then Ronaldo wasn't really doing. I mean, he was their top scorer. He wasn't really, they didn't win anything with him there. Um, I said they've got what's his name back? Who's the manager's name again? With the Allegri.
Allegri, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, and I remember like he knows how to set their defenders up well.
Yeah.
Their defense was impenetrable back when he before. So if he can get them setting up defensively as well, and they've still got some good, decent attacking players. Um, if they get the best out of Dybala, Kulusevski, um, Chiesa,
Mm.
good young players there, young wingers there, good players. Um, then you'd expect them to win pretty comfortably. Because
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Malmo, to be
Yeah.
honest. So
They shouldn't. They like
they
Malmo.
shouldn't have any problems.
Juventus shouldn't have a problem, but because they've been so bad recently that they may that
I'd say
Malmo
inconsistent more than
inconsistent.
anything.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's better terminology. Group E. Then let's start with the lesser of the two games. Not that I'm trying to put one over as more important, but Dynamo Kiev versus Benfica. That's a tough one to call. I think
That's definitely a tough one.
Benfica have had a few problems over the closed season. Dynamo always pull off a surprise. They're a good team.
Mhm.
You know what? I'm going to go for Dynamo. I'm going to go for Dynamo Kiev.
I'm gonna go for a draw.
I think you've gone with the safer option. I think you're more likely to be right.
Yeah, I can't.
Um,
I can't think of any reason why one would just be outright better than the other.
yeah, I think Dynamo Kiev might just edge it by just purely because they've got home field advantage. That's the only thing I can put it down to.
Yeah.
The big game of Tuesday's Champions League matches. Will Barcelona crash and burn at home against Bayern Munich?
Oh Jesus! Can that just be a repeat of the A2, please? Well, they haven't got no Suarez, no Messi. They've got Buddy for
Aguero's still injured, isn't he?
the young. What?
Aguero for Bayern, for Barca,
Yeah,
he's still injured. He's still
that's
out.
I mean they'll probably
They've
have
got no
De
one.
Jong. They'll have De Jong and I was going to say.
Oh, Depay.
Can Depay even play? They haven't registered him yet, have they?
Have they not
Or is that
registered him? No, I thought they registered him. I thought he played in the La Liga.
I thought he couldn't play in the league once because he wasn't registered. I thought he couldn't register any of the players. I don't know.
I will. Yeah, no, I think that's all sorted now. I think that's all sorted now.
Is that sorted? Yeah.
Yeah. Because they got rid of Griezmann to Atleti.
Yeah.
So he was a part of.
Hey, just remind me of that. I've seen the pictures of Griezmann. Because there's a picture of him sort of I think last year when he was playing for Barca. He legitimately looks like a homeless man. Got a proper hose, hair out everywhere, and then he goes this season now. Obviously, a year older, but then he goes basically back in time. Looks 5 years younger. Cut all his hair back to his 2016 World Cup prime Griezmann days, but playing for Atleti. And I actually, in playing for Atletico at that time, made me appreciate him as a player because he was amazing for them. So if he can discover that again with them, fair play. But I think, I mean, this match, I just don't think Barca have got anything about them anymore. They've lost the magic factor.
I mean, if I look at both big clubs in Spain, I think they're pretty mediocre. Real Madrid and Barcelona. I think Real Madrid are better on paper.
I think Real Madrid have managed to keep most of their better players though, whereas Barca have let most of theirs go.
But Real Madrid's better players don't actually play that well for them. I'm thinking of their so-called Eden Hazard and. I mean, Bale's all right.
But thing is, right? So Bale got forgotten by
Zidane because he's a crap manager,
and Bale became shit because of that. But then when you remember Bale under Ancelotti before was very good, and now that he's come back and Ancelotti's gone, you know what? No, I'm not getting rid of Bale. He's part of my plans.
He's going to see out his contract, and we're going to use him.
We're going to use him, and he's rediscovering his best form. So if they get him playing well again, you got obviously Benzema, who's always seems to do really consistently well in Champions League. So, so fair play to him. And then they've got obviously on the left whether you want to use Hazard or whether you want to use one of the better younger players in Vinicius or Rodrigo. They've still got the old guard of the midfield. consistent, solid, but good backups as well. Defense is where I think they're going to struggle. I think
Yeah.
because they've let Ramos go, they've let Varane go. They're relying on, I'm guessing Alaba to be sort of the experienced one now. They got him in, and Eden Militao. So I think, well, so just going back to the Barca Bayern match, I think it's nailed on for Bayern.
Oh yeah,
I don't
totally.
think it'll be as embarrassing as the 8-2, but I mean, I say that, but anything could happen. But I
I'd
think
expect Bayern to win that. Yeah.
comfortably, yeah.
I reckon 2-0 Bayern Munich. I don't, or
mean,
maybe 3-1.
I think is if Lewandowski's on form, I can't say Barcelona's defense keeping him out at all.
We're both predicting a Bayern Munich win. Watch Barcelona win 1-0 under the juniors of Ronald Koeman.
And it's like a Gerard Piqué last minute header, yeah.
Jesus.
Something shit like that, yeah.
2 games from the Vanarama National League on at 3:30. Maccabi Tel Aviv versus Alash Kurt, and Maccabi Haifa versus Feyenoord. So the 2 Israeli clubs in the Europa Vanarama National League. I mean, we're not going to predict them. It's more we might play Who the Fuck Is This Club later on, because we've already done that on this stream. Champions League Wednesday's fixtures. We start with Group A, and Club Brugge are about to get thrashed by Messi, Neymar, Mbappe and co. Maybe even Di Maria might get an appearance.
You know what? Just for a bit of fun, I'm gonna put my support behind Club Brugge for this.
I think a lot of people will.
Because just not because it's funny to go against all the best them players of PSG, but it's as far as I'm aware, Club Brugge have still got Simon Mignolet playing in goal. And he's a Liverpool legend. Cult hero.
Cult hero. Legend is is stretching that word.
Because he's not even a bad keeper, but he just made a bit too many mistakes for us. So if he's still playing for them, I'm gonna say he's gonna be a hero and he's gonna keep them out. And Messi's gonna be at the end of the match looking around going, "What the fuck is this
Who is this world class goalkeeper?" I, on the other hand, think that Simon Mignolet, if he does start for Club Brugge, is going to be picking the ball out of his net 5 times. I'm going 5-0 PSG.
You're going 5-0 PSG?
I'm going 5-0 PSG. If they don't win that by 5-0, that is an embarrassment.
It's disappointing. Yeah, I mean, come on, mate. Club Brugge aren't that bad. Jesus.
No, yeah, but Messi, Neymar. Maybe we're just building the hype train too much on this squad. Maybe.
That's when you're expecting to just be perfect from the start. You never know.
I mean, if they don't win the Champions League this year, Poch has got to go.
I bet you anything.
Mikel Arteta for PSG.
I bet. Oh Jesus! Just racing them into the floor. Yeah. I can imagine. For some reason, Poch not starting Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar together.
Yeah, to be honest, I see that. If he's
going to play Di Maria instead of one of them.
I
think he'll have Messi on the bench.
Yeah.
Because his front three are always been Neymar, Mbappe, Di Maria, because they play well together.
I still think that lineup should get about 3 or 4 goals. So I'm expecting PSG to absolutely annihilate Club Brugge and send their fans home very disappointed. In the other game of that group, this is a really tough group to guess. Group A. This is the toughest, probably the group of death. I feel sorry for Club Brugge, because they're up against it. They've got PSG, they've got Man City and RB Leipzig. Man City and RB Leipzig playing in the other game at the Etihad Stadium. I wonder if it'll be empty this Wednesday night for this Champions League clash. See, when I read this group out and I was trying to place all the teams, I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do this one. This is the toughest one. You know what? I'm going to go for Leipzig. Yeah, I'm going to go for Leipzig. I'm going to go 2-1 Leipzig.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Straight away when you said it, I was like, yeah, Leipzig.
I think Leipzig. I don't want to say they've got PSG's number, but I think they might have PSG's number.
PSG's number?
Yeah, PSG's number. But later on down the line, I reckon they've got PSG's number. I think Leipzig, when it comes to Leipzig versus PSG in Leipzig, I think Leipzig win. But Man City and Leipzig tonight, Wednesday.
The thing is, I think Leipzig against any team at home could be like Man City, PSG. At the Etihad, I don't know. There's just I think Man City just play well in front of no fans. So
they're like the Istanbul Başakşehir of England.
Literally. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go for Leipzig. Yeah,
I'm in agreement with you. I'm gonna go Leipzig to get a 2-1 win. I think it'd be a good game.
Just imagine, right, if at the end of the group stages you've got Leipzig in either 1 or 2. No, I think what the way it's going to be, you're going to have either Man City or PSG in first place, Leipzig in second, and then either Man City or PSG, the other one, in third. Imagine one of them two being in the Europa League.
I don't think the third place teams go into the Europa League this year. I think they get straight knocked. It's a straight knockout, or they go into the Conference League.
Even better. Oh, God. Imagine Messi in the conference. My God.
Because I don't think there's normally a last 32 of the Europa League. That round is not happening this year. It's a last 16.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a group stage last 16. I think that's what's happening. But don't test me on this.
I mean, I always remember
100% sure.
Going for watching Champions League, Europa League, so I was flick between them. And I always remember going, oh yeah, Champions League, straight to last 16, very quite quick, and then Europa League, straight to go through last 32,
last 16, quarterfinals,
yeah, just take forever.
They tried to streamline it now, but yeah, I think Leipzig might pull off a surprise against Man City. Group B, Atleti versus Porto. Atleti, they're at home. Yeah, Atletico, they're at home against Porto. They should see off that challenge. Mm-hmm. The more interesting of the two games is Liverpool versus AC Milan. Now, of course, Liverpool should win that, but AC Milan are a good team.
They've got very good players. They've still got Zlatan.
Oh, Zlatan, yeah.
And it would only be our bloody luck that Zlatan would come to Anfield and score a goal and then try and run in front of the cop and show his middle finger up to us or something like that. Trying to be funny like the dickhead he is.
That's what you get when you don't sign Zlatan. Liverpool, I reckon Liverpool will win that one. Yeah. Group C, Besiktas versus Borussia Dortmund.
Dortmund.
See, didn't Dortmund struggle on the road last year in the Champions League?
Thing is, and every time I look at Dortmund, I'm just thinking, who's going to stop Haaland? Really?
That's
Doesn't
true.
Even matter.
Go watch the Bayer Leverkusen match today.
You're probably right. With last year's on the away results, but Haaland just seems somehow, if it's possible, more dangerous than ever.
Yeah, I don't think Besiktas have the quality to stop him. Nowhere near the quality. So
not at all.
Dortmund should win that. Sporting Club de Portugal, aka Sporting Lisbon versus Ajax. That's an interesting game because that's quite
one now.
Great. Yeah, great terminology. I love that. Yeah, it is a tasty one, as you say. Yeah, I like that one. Great shout. I don't know about this one. I'm not sure about this. I think I'm going to go for Sporting.
Why?
Home field advantage again. I can't really call it between the two. It's home field advantage.
The thing is that me and you probably don't know a whole lot about these two, the actual players they've got now. I probably know a bit more about Ajax than Sporting. But I'm not just gonna give it to Sporting just because they got home advantage.
Most of Sporting's players were talent rated by Wolves, so.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
Maybe I should go Ajax. You're right.
Well, I'm just going based on quality because I think Ajax are still always bring in quality players from their academies, and they just always seem to have a decent team.
We'll see what happens. Group D, Inter Milan versus Real Madrid. Real Madrid. It's Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Inter Milan have Edin Dzeko up front, who's 33, 34?
No, he's 35, 36 now. That's how old he is. Yeah, I
He's too
mean,
old. He got released by
thing
Roma.
is, right, is that thing is like Roma replaced him with Tammy Abraham, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he's obviously come in to replace Lukaku, and he's nowhere near Lukaku's level, but he's still a good goal scorer.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
that's
he's
all he
solid.
is. He doesn't do the running. He hasn't got the presence of Lukaku. So
I mean,
they
he
still
never
got
could run.
other good players, but Madrid are just better, stronger than them still.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And then my new favorite club, everybody's new favorite club. I shot the sheriff. Tiraspol versus Shakhtar Donetsk. 5:45 kickoff. I don't know what happened to the deputy, but I shot the sheriff Tiraspol at home against Shakhtar Donetsk. I expect Shakhtar to win that.
If we yeah, Shakhtar should win 6-0. But
Yes.
if we're going off the song lyrics, you should know that you didn't shoot the deputy. That's what happened to the deputy.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't know what happened to the deputy. Yeah, he didn't shoot the deputy. Yeah.
He went about his business on as a
There you
normal day.
go. There you go. I'm getting a musical education from yourself. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Right.
Which one of us is a radio DJ?
I should be one.
I'll give you all my passwords. You can present all my radio shows.
Yeah, I'd be boss, mate.
I shot the sheriff Tiraspol. Thank you for your name. Goodbye.
We're gonna keep saying that, aren't we?
It's gonna go down like a. It's gonna be.
Why did you say that? What made you think of this kind of thing to name
because it's
that?
Sheriff Tiraspol, so I was like, I shot the sheriff, because that immediately came into my head. I shot the sheriff Tiraspol. It's like Middlesbrough at home. They better play Riverside, motherfucker, because it's the same kind of shit that goes through my head. Let's quickly have a look at the British teams in the Europa League.
Do we have to?
Well, Rangers are taking on Leon. Leon for that one.
That's a good match.
Really, I think Leon will absolutely spank Rangers.
No. I think Leon just aren't the team they were before. I think they've lost bloody Memphis Depay on a free.
That's true. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I still find that outrageous. Why no one else picked him up? Like he's gone a free to Barcelona.
But he ended up at Barca in a dream move. So there you go.
Yeah. Hey. Dream move. Yeah.
Dream move. A bankrupt Spanish club. Yeah, great.
That's what I mean. Like, if I was going there, I'd be like, when I was signing my contract, if I was Memphis and I was going there, I'd be like, how can you guarantee me you're going to be paying me wages?
Yeah, yeah. I just when I went through the Europa League draw on this channel, I just made a blanket statement that no Scottish team was good enough to play in Europe, and I said that for both Rangers and Celtic. I put them both in third place in their groups because I view neither of them are good enough to play in Europe because Scottish football is that dire now, that drab, that they don't belong in Europe.
Thing is that
they should be in the Europa Conference League. That's the quality of Scottish football.
I think whenever you see Rangers or like obviously last season or when it was Celtic before that, they obviously win the Scottish Premier League and then they go into the qualifying rounds for the Champions League.
Yeah.
And they're playing these awful teams, and they're always losing, and it always ends up in the
Europa, yeah,
in the Europa, and then they're not even getting out the group stages for most parts, and it's like
it's because the quality of Scottish football is in the toilets and is in the toilet. They don't have great competition to play, and they're just not used to playing.
I mean, Rangers and Celtic are just becoming like the Real Madrid and Barcelona of the SPL.
I mean, they always have been in terms of Scottish.
Well, that's what I mean, but I think it's becoming more and more obvious now.
Yeah, they need someone like Hibs or Hearts or Dundee United or Aberdeen
raise themselves up a bit.
Yeah.
Like they need to be like the Atletico, or to be that team to compete with them, to really challenge them each year. Because right now it's just a walk in the park, and they're just playing just to, get some minutes into each player's legs.
My money's on Inverness Caledonian Thistle. Leon to beat Rangers. Leicester City play Napoli. That's a tasty game.
That's a very tasty game. I was going to say Napoli straight away because I thought, Napoli a very good team, but could do either. Yeah.
Draw. That's a draw maybe. Yeah. Who else have we
Is
got?
is that the King Power? Is it?
Yeah, King Power. Yeah.
I mean that. I think it's certain
Judging by
matches
the
you
fact
go.
they lost, they don't. Where did they get to last time? What is it? Quarterfinals, Europa League, I think. Leicester. Did they get to the quarterfinals last year, or was it the last 16? Oh no, I think it was the last 16.
Last 16, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they got knocked out.
I can't remember.
I don't think they'll do
It was
well this season.
Slavia Prague. It was Slavia Prague knocked them out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Last season.
Yeah.
I think
And
it was.
yeah, it was. And yeah, Leicester City focus. Their focus will be on the top four this season. It'll all be in vain because they're not good enough for the top four. In comparison with Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, and Manchester United, they're just nowhere near those four teams. So good luck to Leicester on finishing fifth for another season. And I reckon, right, if I'm Brendan Rodgers, I'm like, the only way we're getting into the Champions League is if we win the fucking Europa League. So they might as well go for it.
Might
as well go for it. Because I don't see Leicester getting into the top four. Even if, and I've put Liverpool fourth in my predictions, even if Leicester get close to Liverpool, they will slip up at the last minute and Liverpool won't. So they've got to win the Europa League if they're going to be in the Champions League again. And if they win the Europa League, controversial opinion, Jamie Vardy should retire.
Should retire.
Yeah, if they win the Europa League, because it's the only major trophy other than the Premier League.
Yeah.
After the Premier League, FA Cup, Europa League, he's done a trilogy. He's won the League, Domestic Cup, European trophy. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's not the Champions League, but Leicester aren't Nottingham Forest under Brian Clough, so it's never going to happen.
They're not back in late 70s, early 80s. Yeah,
the Europa League. If Leicester City win the Europa League, that would be a fantastic achievement for them. Real Betis versus Celtic. Once again, Real Betis to beat Celtic, and Celtic to crash out of this tournament, finishing third because they're Scottish and crap. I feel like I'm just biased against Scotland.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, I am.
Celtic should be Real Betis, though, because Real Betis aren't very good.
Yeah, but neither are Celtic.
Draw.
There you go.
I'm just being a coward and sit on the fence.
Finally, hey, it's fine. It's fine. Somebody's got to sit on. Somebody's got to absorb those splinters on the fence. Dynamo Zagreb versus West Ham United. The mighty Dynamo Zagreb. Sorry, the mighty Dynamo Zagreb.
Yeah, Dynamo
versus
Zagreb
West
have
Ham
good players.
United.
Yeah, I mean,
we were talking about Mikel Antonio earlier. I don't see West Ham beating Dynamo.
No, but
especially away.
Is it in Zagreb? Is it?
Yeah, it's in Croatia, so that it's going to be a strange one, a hostile atmosphere for West Ham United. I just don't see them doing very well. Yeah, I'm going Dynamo for that one. Yeah, and to think, Jose Mourinho, he left Tottenham. He must have thought, I won't be managing in the Europa Conference Vanarama National League this season, but he is with Roma, and they take on CSKA Sofia on Thursday night. I won't go through the Europa Conference leagues. Many teams. Actually, I will play a game that I played with Sean, who came on the program. Have you ever heard of a football team, and can you name where they are? Lincoln Red Imps.
Lincoln Red Imps.
Lincoln Red Imps. They're a genuine football team. Do you know where they're based? They are the champions. They are the champions of a division. And if you get too stuck, I'll start dishing out clues. Lincoln Red Imps. They play in the Europa Conference League.
I'm gonna say it's something like either like the Andorran or Lithuanian.
They play such teams in their domestic league as Manchester 69. Oh, sorry. Is it Manchester 69 or Manchester 62? It's something like that. 62. Manchester 62. Sorry, I'm just sexual.
I've never heard of either of them.
But where do you think they might play? Their logo looks very similar to a certain Lincoln City, where they get their name, the League One club. Where do you? Final guess?
No, I don't know.
They are the champions of the Gibraltar Premier League. And
Jesus Christ!
And here's the thing: I was saying this like 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. If you get yourself a season ticket to every team in the Gibraltar Premier League, they all play at the same stadium. So if you have one seat, you can watch every single game for every single team every single weekend. Now, if you're really football mad, there you go. Lincoln Red Imps take on PAOK Salonika of Greece. Tottenham, they've actually got an interesting match. They're away in France. They're playing Rennes. Should win that. They should win that. Tottenham. Surely.
They should. Who knows?
Who knows? But are you excited to see some of the teams in the Europa Vanarama National Blue Square Bet Premier League?
No.
Sorry, the Skrill Premiership as well. You're not excited for that. You're not excited for the.
Bit too low down for me.
Oh, bit too lowbrow. Bit too lowbrow.
Yeah.
Hey, at least we've got I Shot the Sheriff Tiraspol in the Champions League. Always a good
one. This season, other than Liverpool, they're going to be my team. They're going to be like my underdogs.
Well, I Shot the Sheriff Tiraspol. They're going to be your underdogs.
Yeah, just for that name.
It's just if they don't play, there is lots of there's lots of clubs with music connections. If they don't play that, if they don't play I Shot the Sheriff at Sheriff Tiraspol, then I'm just going to be so mad. It's like I want them to play this Sash dance song Adelante at Atalanta, but replace Adelante with Atalanta. which is good, and then Riverside by Sidney Sampson being played at obviously Middlesbrough, which would be nice. But yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, which is strange and weird, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Well, I think we're done. We can call it time an hour early, and I can go watch some more Lucifer. We've got, what have we got coming up? Before we go, actually, I will just say this. Juventus have lost 2-1 away at Napoli, and they're still without a win.
Jesus.
They are still without a win this season. They've played 3, got a draw, and lost 2. They are yet to win this season. Napoli, by the way, top of Serie A. But, Juventus... What was our Champions League prediction? Juventus to win. Can I change it?
Well, they're playing Malmo. I mean, I know Juventus are being bad at the minute, but...
I mean, Napoli are at least a decent team. But who did they... Hang on. Who did they get the draw against? That's what I want to know.
Who? Napoli?
No. Who did they draw against? Udinese, 2-2. They lost to Empoli. Empoli? Yeah. Empoli by a 0-0 at home. Yeah, I'm feeling less confident with our prediction on Juventus.
I mean, who knows? Malmo could give us a shocker here.
Is it too late to back out and support Malmo? Probably. Yep. Right, before we leave you, let's go through the... actually, before we do, I just want to get your opinion. Is 1-0 good enough for Arteta to keep his job? I know I'm obsessed with it, and I will stop talking about it now. This is the last time. Although I think I said that the last time we talked about Arteta. This is genuinely the last time we're talking about Arteta, unless he's actually sacked, or they lose 5-0 again, or 3-0. Or if they lose again, to be fair. If they lose to Burnley, we'll talk about it again. But is 1-0 enough for you?
I mean, but if it was up to me, if I was an Arsenal fan, he'd be been gone by now. But as I said to you before, I don't I don't know if we were just talking about it before we came on air, but I was saying tonight that right now they just want to get points. I think that's just the priority. It's got to a point where tactics and performance and score at all is gone out the window. They just need to get points, points, no matter what. So I think they'll take it. They'll take it at the minute. You'll still probably get Arsenal fans complaining, as they should be. But at the end of the day, if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be happy because
I think a lot of them. Yeah,
your
go on.
club's in the shit house at the minute. You
Yeah,
just
they are the
points
banter
to the
club.
board. At this point, points on the board are just the priority. So you just go, you know what? I'll just take it.
I'm currently on the worst place in the world. AFTV.
Oh, you're on it now.
I am on it now, looking at some of the reactions, and they are not good. They are not good reactions.
I miss DT. He stopped being on it. But I do watch a lot of what's his name? His name Lee? Is it Lee Judges? Is it?
Yeah. He's
good.
There. He's still on there. It's him that I'm watching, and I think he's talking about like we are staying up. We are staying up. Sing, we are staying up.
Yeah, staying up.
Wonderful. That's the height of Arsenal's ambition.
You'll get Arsenal fans going, thank God we're not in a relegation battle. Thank God. That's how we go. How the mighty.
Can we go back to the first before the game started and we were top of the league? Yeah. Call it then. Stop the count. Stop the count. Another Arsenal fan. Another Arsenal fan saying that they needed to send a statement, which, to be fair, is what I said. It kind of what I was alluding to, because 1-0 against Norwich is not good enough. Yeah, you needed
1-0 against Norwich feels like you've scraped the 1-0.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, the tail of the tape suggests that they absolutely dominated them, but they just couldn't get the goal. They couldn't get the goal for a long time. Yeah, and it was just. I don't know what it is. It's either a disconnect between the players or Arteta is just crap.
I was saying to you before, I think it's a bit of both.
They had 30 shots. Arsenal had 30 shots. How many of those do you reckon they got on target? Of those 30? 2. Oh, give them a bit more credit than that. Still in single figures. 7. 7. They got 7 of 30.
7 on target.
Even Norwich have a better ratio. They had 1 shot on target. They got 10 shots. Their ratio's actually better. They are just a banter club, aren't they?
Yeah.
Only 52% possession in the end. How can you have 30 shots and only get 7 on target? You should be at least getting half your shots on target in that kind of game against Norwich.
Yeah, but even still, with 7 shots on target and only having 1 goal.
Yeah, exactly. Especially against Norwich, they're just. I don't even understand how they could celebrate that scoring on the 66th minute against Norwich. Like I wouldn't celebrate that goal. I'd just be like, grab the ball, go back to the. You know how a team when they're 1-0, like they're 2-0 down, they get a goal back. You see the player go into the goal, grab the ball, and run back to the centre circle. That's what I would have been doing after Arsenal took the lead 1-0 against Norwich. And anyone that celebrated, I'd be like, calm down, you twat.
You know what that says? That says that the players really don't give a shit.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think
for the club.
I think that's exactly what it says. AFTV to dissect that. Going forward, this is the last time. This is the last time. It won't be the last time we talk about Arsenal. I wish it was.
You know what? Just saying about that with them celebrating a 1-0 like that, it just reminds me of sometimes. I'll use my club as my club as an example because I've seen them most. I've seen us when we've been like dominating a match 3 or 4-0 up. I see like Mo Salah shoot and miss, and he'll throw his arms up in the air all disappointed. That's the difference, because he just wants to keep scoring and he wants to keep, doing well for the team, and that's different between them and Arsenal, because you actually have players who care about, you actually care.
No, I know
Arsenal don't have a proper leader to grab him by the scruff of the neck and
Is that, do you reckon, down to Arteta himself going, I don't want to challenge on the pitch. I don't want somebody like Vieira to challenge. Like if you think of great...
I wouldn't, yeah. Like,
maybe he just doesn't want to be challenged. Maybe he wants to... I think he wants to insert himself.
But he's not doing that, though. He hasn't... But the thing is, he's not...
He's not doing it, no.
He is not a Mourinho who can assert himself and be dominant over his players.
I think he might think he is. I think he might be deluded.
Well, he might be, but he needs someone on the pitch. I mean, bloody hell, Jurgen Klopp is a towering man, and he's good at communicating. But he still has Jordan Henderson. He still has James Milner. He still has Virgil van Dijk. Big personalities, big loud voices to keep the other lads in line. Who's Arteta got? If he starts to lose where he thinks Granit Xhaka and Aubameyang as his captains, wilty little flowers, falling apart at the seams that they are. I mean, bloody hell, 3-0 down against Man City, and Granit Xhaka, the big man he is, 2 foot as a player and gets himself sent off.
I mean, Xhaka's always been a joke. Like, he is not good enough to play for that.
No.
If Arsenal are still, as the Paddy Power advert suggests, a super club, Xhaka gets booted out the exit door.
Yeah. Like, they've got a good player in Thomas Partey, very good player.
Very good player.
But then obviously he's had his injury worries. But you partner up with Granit Xhaka in midfield, who's got, just banter. They made changes. You're playing like. Thing is, they took out Bernd Leno, who was playing before he went to Arsenal, was playing in the Champions League for Bayer Leverkusen. Very good goalkeeper, and they've brought in Aaron Ramsdale, sort of young English goalkeeper who has been relegated multiple times.
He's been relegated twice. He's going for the hat-trick with Arsenal.
That's what I mean. Obviously, they changed to a 3 at the back. I think they kind of needed to do so. Obviously, playing Tomiyasu now, who they've just brought in.
Who I think had a very good game today.
Yeah, Ben White, who is
still finding his feet.
50 million, still finding his feet.
I mean, he was scared of the ball against Brentford in the opening day, of course. But
yeah, he was. So, I just don't think they've got decent players, but they've got no leaders. They've got no world-class players. And
when Aubameyang is your captain, I think you've got a problem.
When Aubameyang's really the only legitimate goal threat at the age he's at, that he is declining.
And they apparently there were rumours that they were going to try and get rid of him and Lacazette.
Yeah, they were going to sell them both. Apparently, there's going to. I heard rumours. I don't know how true they were. Like they were going to try and swap Aubameyang for Coutinho, and I was like, well, are you high and drunk at the same time?
I mean, you could have just picked up Coutinho for 20 million. That's how little Barcelona's fight. No. Barcelona.
Nowhere near 20 million. Pick up less than that.
Oh, fair enough. Free. Oh, right. Okay.
Barcelona have been that desperate to get any players off the books. They would have given anyone away for free. I mean, bloody hell, they bought. Barcelona. You're talking about Barcelona now. You want me to start talking about that?
Oh, go on. Go for it. Let's move on from Arsenal.
Barcelona bought Griezmann for 120 million, something like that. And because they got that desperate to get rid of him, they basically put him out on loan to Atletico with an obligation to buy him for I think it's 40 million euros.
40 million euros. Well, guess what? Guess how much money Barcelona still owe Atletico on that transfer?
From 80 million.
40 million euros, so it'll be a free transfer.
Legit.
It will be a free transfer.
Actually, but they won't even be asked about it because they're getting this wages off the wage bill. That's all they're worried about. That's what it is. That's how shit they've been ran. I mean, how can the club Barcelona, how big they are of an organisation, allow themselves to be run into the ground like that? Utter nonsense.
Utter rubbish. Anyway,
they're on the way to becoming a banter club. They're on the way to becoming.
Oh no, I think maybe we should do a poll on Tuesday about that. Yeah. Are Barcelona a banter club? I think they are.
They're on the way.
I think they're on the. All we need is Barca fan TV, and then
Oh God! Basically, you have these
and then
Spanish versions of
of
the
of
classics.
all
Yeah,
the knobs from our AFTV, because BFTV, they'd have to call it that because they're not allowed to call it Barca fan TV or Arsenal fan TV anymore.
Oh.
But you know what? I always have a go at AFTV, but they are a symptom of Arsenal. They are just one of the many symptoms of being a banter club.
But the thing is, though, is that I don't even blame them. Like they came about because Arsenal weren't doing like they were on decline for a number of years under Wenger, and they came about because they had a couple of strong-willed fans who wanted to give their opinion on the club, right? Which they're well entitled to give, and they became big because they had a couple of certain characters who were funny,
Yeah,
right? But they shout a lot. Like, bloody
yeah.
hell, I watch it and I laugh. I think they're a good laugh, right?
It is.
But
It
then you
is. It's
see,
a comedy
but then
and a tragedy at the
it's
same time.
become sort of a bit more overhyped because you've had sort of former players and pundits calling out AFTV saying that they're terrible and they prey off they want Arsenal to be bad so they get more views and stuff like that, which I don't think's true. But then obviously then you've had videos of the guys of AFTV having interviews with Gary Neville saying, look, this is why we're the way we are. How why are you blaming us for the club being bad? You know,
Yeah. I
so
think there was an
I think
article from the Athletic today
yeah.
looking into that about AFTV, and it's at its most profitable when Arsenal are probably not doing as
But the
well.
thing, but that's not their fault. Like the fact
That
is,
is true.
they
Isn't
talk about the problem started when Arsenal started declining under
yeah
Wenger. Because they were they became, to be honest, they became a bands club when they started getting called
the
was
fourth
it something
place
to do with
trophy?
fourth place
That
trophy,
was
yeah,
it for me. The
because they
fourth
were
place
consistently
trophy.
getting fourth place over and over again. But the fact of the matter is that they were consistently getting Champions League football, bringing the revenue in, but they got to the point where they were never pushing past fourth. So that's no one's fault apart from Arsenal and the people running it at the time. So AFTV is not a symptom of anything, but sort of more a result of the club on its downturn. So they're doing is just reacting to the status of the club at that time. You know, like
Mm.
I was watching them last season, and you could just tell by the looks on their faces, like they were just praying for anything to happen.
Yeah,
And they're
It
saying,
isn't. I will be fair to them and say it isn't nice to see football fans so dejected. And I will say that I've always had this opinion that the most uneasy to please people, the most fickle people in the world are football fans, because they'll love you
yeah,
one week and hate you the next.
that's what, but that's it as a sport, though, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
if you become a football player or a manager, you learn this very quickly that you've got to get good at being able to deal with people and shrug off insults and because the abuse people get, like whether it's racist or not, even just normal football insults
yeah,
when you have a particularly bad performance, whatever, you're never going to please anyone. As I said, football people, fans are hard to please. Because even when you had a good game and you'll have the vast majority of people saying you're well done, you'll still have a small amount of people saying you're shit, get out of the club, not good enough, you'll never be good enough, stuff like that. So you learn that from a very young age that you've got to survive in football. You've got to be able to deal with that.
and that was this week's edition of the Football Fan Show podcast. Thank you very much to my guest Callum Brown once again for today's podcast. And if you want to catch any of our live streams, Score Saturday, Score Special also coming back for the Champions League Tuesdays, 7:30 p.m. Twitch.tv/the Football Fan Show, as well as also on Wednesdays as well. Twitch.tv/the Football Fan Show. Give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/the Football Fan Show. Come and have a look at us on Twitter. We got a few videos on there at TFFS Live on Twitter. If you go to our Twitter, you can find our link tree and you can go to our YouTube channel. Just search the Football Fan Show on YouTube. And you can email us anytime, thefootballfanshow